Hello, and welcome to our podcast where we have 3 hosts, 3 topics, and 7 minutes each because any longer, and she'll tell you to stop. Hi, everybody. Joe Barlow here.
Who's she?
She's the woman I'm getting freaky with. You know what I'm saying?
I doubt you last 7 minutes anyway. So
well, she's telling me to stop because it goes too long, brother. But 7 minutes is the sweet spot. That's what we've learned, right, Camry?
Please don't bring me into this. But yeah, it's me. I'm Camry. Hi.
Okay, good. That's what her voice sounds like.
Yep.
Abra's over there.
Hello, my name is Abra, and this is what my voice sounds like.
And we have another voice with us, and I'm so excited to say hello to her. Her name is Kristen. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Woo. Joe, Abra, and Camry. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Formal, and we say hello to everyone individually.
Love it. Oh, wait. Does that mean I need to say hello, Abra?
No, you did. That's what I was saying. You said hello, Abra. Hello, Camry. Kristen,
Hi,
if
y'all.
you had to describe yourself in 7 words, what would those words be? It's 7 minutes, so it's 7 words, you know?
Oh my God.
Tired.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Tireder.
Oh.
Just getting worse.
Unicorn sprinkles, sunshine, rain, cupcakes.
Nice.
Really, and
like
true.
that.
Nice and true.
We agree with that.
All right, well, let's get into our first topic. So do you understand the premise of the show?
Not at all.
Okay.
Perfect.
So 7 minutes per topic. I have the first topic. And I did not prepare very well this week, but since we have a panel of women, I really wanted to know. You see a man on the street, right? He's just walking.
So I crossed the street.
She's visualizing.
True.
Classic.
But can you tell just by looking at a man how big his fang is? Start the clock.
Fang.
I keep that thing on me.
Okay, Kristen.
Yes.
I want to hear. What do
Okay,
you think?
so I think that that's a really good question. You say he's walking down the street, therefore I can see his swagger and the way that he's carrying himself. And I think that's going to tell me a lot more than just a glance at the bulge. Because I think if you're just looking at a guy and he's standing there like a Ken doll and you have no rhyme or reason about what's going on, but then all of a sudden he starts to move and you can see that like BDE, or you can see maybe he's overcompensating. Like there's so much that we can tell by the way that you guys walk.
Wow.
And
okay, I'm scared. Wait, what can you tell? Not being specific about anyone in this room, but you know, like what?
The only man in the room.
Because Abra always imitates men's walks
great.
and women's walks.
She's great at just like imitating. Yeah.
So if you can think back to John Hamm, the way that he moves through life versus the way that like, I don't know, every other guy moves through life.
But that's
Plus, we also saw him in those gray sweatpants. So.
See, that's the hard thing. I'm like, if you went in and you never saw his bulge, you would just know from the walk.
Yes, I don't know though, because sometimes there are these tall, white, skinny guys who you think probably have like nothing, and then you hear from a friend.
You think they have nothing? Interesting.
Okay, not nothing, but you're like,
a Ken doll.
Like a Ken doll.
What's wrong with Ken dolls? Okay, I have to speak for
They're
the Ken
smooth.
doll. They're smooth and hairless. What? And no
plastic underwear.
genitals.
Anyway,
So then you hear about them just like slanging, like that noise, and you're like, how? So like, I think there's a nice mixture because the John Hamm thing, we did see him in the gray sweatpants. So then everyone was like, oh, okay, that's what you got on you. But I think if we didn't see that, I don't know. I think sometimes you just, the way you hold yourself. I don't know though, because I don't think like people with huge fangs or smaller things are like walking like sad. Because like if I had a slanging penis, I'd be like.
But it was
you
like
would walk different.
with the whole Pete Davidson thing. That's where when the whole BDE thing came out, it was like Pete Davidson, just the way he carried himself. Like, do I think he's the most attractive man on the planet? No.
He's got raccoon eyes.
But yeah,
But you're drawn to him?
The way it was just the way you saw him in pictures. You just be like, he's got a little secret. Not a little secret, but
I don't know.
And also it's like they don't have something to prove.
Exactly.
So if you think about this, something that somebody told me who was involved in like karate, he was like a black belt or whatever. And he was like, I'm not going to go into a bar and start a fight. I don't need anybody here to know my skill level.
That is
so even
true.
if somebody tries to pick on him, he's still going to diffuse the situation and not use it until he absolutely has to. So I feel like that's the thing. It's like that goes along with that
until he has to. I love that.
That goes along with that BDE. It's like I don't need to show a big old swanging dick.
This is why they say like when people have like huge trucks, they're overcompensating. It's just like they're like small somewhere else, big on this truck. I mean, not saying every person has a truck has a small thing.
I am.
But
I'm
but it's one of those things where I'm assuming, you're like lacking a little bit of confidence, or maybe like something inner and down under that you're like, I need to like make up for somewhere else, which, then they have the vibe, and then they come in the bar, they try to start a fight because they have to prove themselves.
Right.
It's getting psychological now.
But Auburn, nail it. It's a vibe. It's a total vibe. Like, you can't explain it, but you can experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever been extremely surprised where you're like, this man's thing is going to be either, whatever end of the spectrum, and then you're like, oh, that was the opposite. And why was that the case?
I feel like luckily I've never experienced a man with a small thing.
She's like disappointment.
Yeah, I've never been like, oh. Because
that's good.
I mean, I feel like most men, I don't know what the average is for United States. The average, I think, usually is, like 6 inches? 5?
Why are you looking at me?
We're all just very scared about, well, maybe I'm the only scared one. I'm like, I don't know what the
He's like, I thought it was like 2, 3.
Well, they say half of it's inside of you too. So that's
what are you going to do with half of that inside of you with a girl?
What you gonna do with
half that inside you?
I think that would be the anthem for men,
Yeah. I think for me though, like
2.
I'm not trying, again, this goes same kind of subject, but like for me, I don't need a huge ass thing for me to be like satisfied. Because honestly, guys also forget that hurts.
I'm glad we got here. Because this is where we needed to ultimately end up, which is it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, well, I mean, okay.
It doesn't matter.
You got that on tape. No, for me, I think I would much rather have like a smaller, like lengthwise, and then the girth be a little bit, because you don't want
smaller. So instead of this, I would be okay with that.
Well, no, because like I feel like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but for me, like I'd rather have thicker and a little bit shorter than like a 12-incher and it's like a toothpick size, because then it's just reaming into my uterus, and I'm like, this is not good.
Right. And I know that like guys will totally dwell on that of like, hey, if I could have 3 wishes, one of them would be a bigger dick. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. However, I mean, can we talk about personal stories here?
If you're comfortable with it.
I'd love to hear it.
So there was somebody who was compared to a Coke can, so much that was his nickname, and it was like, what do you want me to do with this?
My vagina squeezed out.
Yeah, I was like, I was
I'm
just
a Pepsi guy.
Yeah, right.
So anyway,
that was unfortunate, because at the time it was one of these like, that's not going. Yeah. No, that's not fitting here.
That would be
here.
That would be frightening.
It's not fitting anywhere.
No,
right.
And it's like, good for you. However, I'm going to shake the hand of your next girlfriend. Yeah, because good on her.
Yeah. Wow. So I think we have a minute left. So everyone, closing statements. Like I guess you should have said that.
Closing statements, Camry.
Whoa.
Well, you get a little bit.
I think yes, you can tell, but like she said, it's not just like a looking at him situation. You have to see how he carries himself, not how he physically carries, but just like how he acts, how he walks, how he talks, just everything else. So I feel like yes and no then, if that's what
good
you're
summary.
getting at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Kristen, final words?
Final words. I think that you can form an opinion, but then be pleasantly surprised,
that's
hopefully.
good.
Or unpleasantly.
Or unpleasantly surprised.
But the good news is multiply it by 2, right?
I don't think
right?
that's
Fellas?
No.
science.
Fellas?
Absolutely not.
Anyone?
My closing statement is it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Whoa. I wish it was going to ring right now, but we still have 6 seconds. So I'll just say, fellas, practice safe sex. That's time. Okay, I think we need a break after that topic. I got a little sweaty. So we'll be back after this word from our sponsor. 7 Minutes in Hell is proudly brought to you by our sponsor, TheCHIVE.
Feeling bland, boring, and uninspired?
Want an easy way to lift your spirits and make life worth living?
TheCHIVE has the perfect thing to soothe what ails you.
Chive Teas. Chive teas are like a hug from an old friend on a crisp autumn eve.
Or a tall iced tea on a hot summer's day.
Wear a Chive tea out and about and get ready for the compliments. So many compliments. You'll feel like Paul Rudd at any late night interview. Love.
So don't settle for bland and boring when you can be bold and beautiful.
Shop the store at thechivery.com and shine on, you crazy diamond.
Hello, welcome back from that commercial break. I hope you enjoyed it. So for our next subject, I think everyone can kind of relate to this because we're all on it every single day, especially our job kind of makes it so that we're on it every single day.
Okay, where's she going?
My question is social media creating a toxic culture or helping us stay connected? Start the clock.
Whoa. Let's go to Kristen.
Sorry, my eyes got real big there. Man, this is really tough because it does weave itself into our job so much. But I think on a personal level, it is toxic AF.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I definitely used it to stay in contact with a lot of my family and friends throughout the pandemic. And then I also learned which of my family and friends were absolute a-holes because of that and them just putting their opinions and things out into the world as facts.
Mm-hmm.
So yikes. I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think it can be used for good, but I think it's like using a genie. Like, some people can do good with it, and then some people can absolutely be trash humans.
Yeah. It's my, I guess, opinion on it too is the same as yours, but like, especially social media, I think now is affecting growing up. Because when we grew up, we didn't have that. So now looking at like models.
I'm pretty young, but
yeah, he's a Gen
Don't
Z,
speak for me.
35-year-old Gen Z, but
almost 35.
Almost 35-year-old Gen Z.
but
to
like,
you.
Instagram, for instance, like people posting pictures of what they look like makes you feel bad about yourself or worrying about likes or worrying about people looking at you. It's like one of those things where now you're concerned about other people's opinions. And I think that has affected me. And I'm 31. Like I can't imagine being a younger age when like we didn't have that. Like we just kind of existed and you show off your outfit by walking up to sharpen your pencil. Okay, that just really showed my age.
She's like,
Yeah,
you
now
walk up
they're
and show
all
your
electric.
skirt. Yeah.
They have electric pencils.
Oh yeah, I guess the mechanical pencil.
Oh, yeah.
We know like
she's 47 years old.
I'm 50 years old.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I look good.
I think I like the toxic aspect when
He's a toxic man. That's why.
when it comes to like self-promotion, like I love posting my thirst traps,
What
I'm
thirst traps are
saying?
you posting?
Oh, do you follow me?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Those are all trying to be thirst traps in their own way.
Oh no. I need to have a talk after
I'm
this.
parched then. 'cause
Yikes.
Well, that's the thirst.
They're not
I'm
quenching.
real thirsty because it's dry over here too. But yeah, I do think like I love that aspect as someone who, annoyingly likes to post himself and make little videos that get to be seen by little
Yeah, but then you get so
people.
much hate on your videos.
Oh yeah, people hate.
people will
I didn't say I was good at
He's like,
it.
I go home and cry. But
And I think it's toxic in that way. The way it makes me feel
That's-
is very toxic.
What?
But I have a desire to put it out there, and I think it's some sort of masochistic.
okay,
it's a
well,
mental-
that's
It's a mental defect. I'm part of the problem, but I also thirst for it.
You
That's weird.
recognize it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
What do
so.
you mean? Don't dismiss
No,
me.
I'm not invalidating your experience.
She is.
But
I'm a minority in this group.
what?
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm speaking for
The only white man here. I will say, so even with things when it tries to be less toxic. So for example, I think of Be Real. They it originally started as trying to.
Are you on Be Real?
I'm not.
Oh,
but
because I was gonna say you don't follow me, so
It originally started as trying to like, you can't fake it. You have to just post what you're doing at that moment or and you're fake. And that's like being real. But now they'll like, I heard this at the nail salon. She said that if you do it,
okay.
if you do it at a certain time at the right time that day, you get 2 more chances to do it whenever you want
Oh
to.
yeah, that's a new feature.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Oh,
what's
that
the
takes away the
point?
point.
That
What's
takes
the
away
point
the
of
whole
that?
point. So it's just becoming another one of the toxic, like Instagram, like you post what you want people to see. Like, so instead of that, or you can, if you're late on your Be Real, like you can wait until you post, you're like at somewhere and you post them because you want people to see what you're doing. That's cool. Not just like
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what
me
I
out-
do.
I'm on my couch.
I'm
Yeah.
rarely actually real.
On time. So
I'm
it's
always
like,
fake.
that's not real anymore. And it's just falling back into that. So it's like, no matter how much we try to break away from that toxic mold and everything, it's like, it's going to fall back in there. And
Yeah.
I love it.
yeah.
I can't get off social
I
media.
mean, yeah,
but
I'm addicted to social media.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, I like that. Like, TikTok, for example, got me through some crappy parts in like the past couple of months where like I feel like I'm not alone. So that's on the other end where
That's
social
true.
media can bring you together, where it's like, wow, I've had that experience where I thought I was kind of weird or something that I only thought I went through. And it's
Unique.
like, oh my gosh, people are having the same situations as me and you feel together. Because again, you feel not alone. So I do like it for that. But it is, like Kristen said, a double-edged sword.
Okay. I also, this is another thing I love about social media, is the advertising is so targeted now, where I see stuff and I'm like, oh, I love that. That's like,
scary.
It knows me, which is scary, but also awesome. Because then I'm like,
is it for
I
your
need
penis?
that lamp.
Is it like penis enlargers?
Now probably. Now it'd be like, this guy's obsessed with his
thing.
Penis. Yeah, but no, I love targeted ads because I hate watching. Now I see like a Gain commercial where they're trying to be broad to everyone. Like, we all use Gain so we can smell good. I'm like, that's not for me. But this like weird,
I don't have a washing machine.
Well, don't get me started on my washing machine. But yeah, like I'm like, but I see on an Instagram like a shirt I would wear, and I'm like, that's awesome. But then it's like $80. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So anyway.
But then also these targeted ads, I feel like so many are scams too, where I click on something and I'm like, this is too good to be true. Like, this is a lamp that I like and it's $29. No, like, you know, so I don't know.
That's true, because it's not a website
sauce.
Maybe you've heard of.
Right.
It's like,
it's because people like Joe keep falling for them, so they keep turning more out.
Is this some guy like in a basement that's like putting up specifically for Joe, and he's just taking the
the tracking link has never worked. It's always like, you're still in transit.
Oh, I definitely lost $200 on a chair that I bought like 7 years ago that never got delivered. And I was like, oh man, this is a great chair. I want this for $200. And then you see it's actually $1,500 on the real site.
Dang.
And I got.
All right, guys.
Also, Facebook Marketplace. I mean, that's pretty cool.
We need closing statements. Kristen.
I love social media.
Oh God, social media. Well, I know this is closing statement, but I had an analog childhood. So I didn't have social media until I was well into my 20s. And I literally thought it was just for dating at first. So
it's true.
Yeah,
everyone's so horny.
Therefore, I pass.
All right,
I mean, I met my girlfriend on Instagrams too. So I mean, I'm like, I guess I love social media, even though it's ruining my brain. Like, I can't have a full thought. But that's whatever.
True.
I get to buy pants.
I'm scared for Joe.
Go,
He's
Camry.
like
You're about 5 seconds.
I'm like, it's okay. I'm obsessed with it, but I don't know.
We're good.
Nice.
Joe is scaring me.
Joe is for social media. He's big social media. He's trying to push it on us.
I know. You know when it like reads your mind when you're talking about penises and then it gives you a penis? That's really fun.
Joe needs.
Okay, well, we can't talk. The time's up.
It's up. Yeah. I'm just scared for your safety. Okay. Well, now it's my turn. And I got a little fun one after that heavy. That one made us think too hard. I don't like it. Found out things about Joe I didn't need to. But
this whole episode.
This one, we're doing celebrity hall passes.
Oh,
start that clock.
Okay, that's not
KO.
Oh, I've already got it all picked out.
I know. I know.
So, Celebrity Hall Pass, definitely Ryan Reynolds. That's both mine and my husband's.
Beautiful.
Hall Pass. However, not to name drop here, but
she's like, already slept with him.
Been there, done that. No, but living in LA, we weren't allowed to have hall passes because some of those
happen.
Like, absolutely could have. Or, yeah, sure. Could happen. So we decided we couldn't have those until we moved out of California.
Wait, but is like a celebrity hall pass like a fun imagination?
It's definitely like I'll never actually meet this person kind of thing in your brain, I think.
Okay, because so in your situation,
but if
that could have actually happened.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just like a fun things. I thought celebrity hall passes were like literally if I met mine's not Ryan Reynolds, but if I met Ryan Reynolds and he's like, I would like to sleep with you, Abra, I'd look to my husband and be like,
I mean, yeah, but like the chances of that happening, like she said, so like they're slim. So
that's fair. I mean, it could happen though.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. If you're like, oh, actually, I think I have a chance now with this celebrity. Like,
then you have to change.
Do I need to text? Well, I had that weird thing with celebrity Allison Brie when she came to the office, and it was kind of on the table that I would, maybe give her a smooch.
Oh God!
But I felt really weird because I wasn't sure. If I would be serious. Like allowed to with a girlfriend. Although I don't know. I was scared. But then afterwards she was like, you should have. So Allison Brie, if you're out there. Now you're my hall pass.
I think for me, if like my husband had a hall pass. Yeah, I mean, I guess every relationship's different because some people they have open relationships if they happen to meet Ryan Reynolds, whatever. And they're like, yeah, all right. go ahead. But for me, I would say mine like always depends. But I feel like the normal one would be like Chris Evans. I think is like the biggest one.
I think that's your biggest one.
Probably.
Sure.
But I feel like there's like another random person that I would have
At
a
this
hall pass.
point. I'm a Pedro Pascal girl right now.
I love Pedro
At
Pascal.
this point,
It definitely
in time,
changes.
I'm not in a relationship.
Can you
but I'm
change a celebrity hall pass, or
I
does
feel
it?
like you've usually had like, at least with me, we've always had a top 5. Like,
Oh.
so that way if you
Wait,
came
so
across,
I need
what's
to
your
hear.
5?
Yeah, I need to hear.
oh
the 5.
snap. Well, it's probably changed by now. I haven't really thought about it, but let me think while you guys
Okay.
answer a little more.
I don't have one handily. I mean, everyone's talking about Sydney Sweeney, but I'm
That's
not
my
really,
hall pass too. Honestly, Sydney
How
Sweeney.
about
is- she's
I don't
fucking
know
attractive.
her, so
Well,
I
I
just
don't- do you know any
I've
of these
seen her,
celebrities?
but I haven't seen her work. I like someone.
When
with
you say
a-
work,
Do you mean her?
oh, I've seen her work.
But how about this? Like these all sound like normal hall passes where you're like, yes, that's a very attractive person. But does anybody have a hall
Ooh, the
pass
weirdest.
that's
like
like
a weird one.
right? That's like I don't know, George W. Bush, and you're
Absolutely
like,
not
wait,
that.
Interesting, weird
I'm
one.
gonna look up celebrity hall passes. I feel like I have so many
Like
because
an
it always
old-
changes. I fall in love with
weirdly
a random
attractive.
person on TikTok. Sometimes I'm like, is this man in the vicinity? Because now I have a crush on this person. Let's see. Oh,
That is a good question. Like I feel like I do. I can't think of it.
Okay, let me say a person. You tell me if you would.
He's like Gary Busey.
Pee Wee Herman.
No.
Oh, okay. Is that the weird one?
Do you
Also,
guys
that's a
know
character.
that the most
Paul
popular,
Rubens?
the most popular celebrity hall passes in America is Kim K and George Clooney?
I knew. I feel like George Clooney
Kim
has
K.
been. He's been like the Bachelor until he got married, but he was like the eligible Bachelor that everyone.
right? He's probably been a hall pass for 30 years or so.
Kim K. I don't personally see
It
it.
seems
She's-
very high maintenance.
I mean, she's not even my favorite Kardashian.
She's not.
I don't think.
She's not my favorite.
she's
My
not even my
favorite's-
top, like in my top 6 of the Kardashians.
Oh,
That's
Henry
true.
Cavill's one. He's attractive.
Yeah, that one's easy. I feel like
Michael B.
there are the
Jordan.
easy ones.
Chris Hemsworth is jacked.
He's jacked. See, and I'm a Chris Pine girl. Out of the Chris's, Chris Pine is my number one.
Fun fact: I can't tell any of the Chris's apart.
That is hilarious.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
They are all
Oscar
very-
I really
Isaac.
want to think.
I don't know. Like I'm a little bit older, so I'm going after like the Rock, and like for me, it's really weird to think about all of these guys who have like a Harry Styles or somebody who's
Right.
you know, Timothy Chalamet, who I look
Dude,
at and
that's
I'm
a
like, you're a
child.
child.
And I know he's like in his mid 20s, but I'm like, he
No.
just gives up. For me, like, I don't care
He's
if
also
you're
super
40
skinny.
and 30, whatever, and you look like a child, you look like a child to me.
Right.
Like, that's why I always wonder about like Hasbulla, because I'm like, he's like 20. So I'm like,
Yeah,
does
but
he?
he's
I have no idea what you just said.
he's,
You know,
he's
the
like a
personality, but I don't know his. I don't know
he's
his.
like a small. He has some kind of
some sort of
condition. I
Yeah.
don't know, but he's like
What is
he's
it you would
20
say
years old.
he does?
But he's just like a personality. He'll like go like he met up with Mike Tyson the other day, and and Mike Tyson literally like held him like a baby
he's
he
20
looks-
years old.
He looks like a child.
Yeah, but I do wonder that where I'm like, oh, is he sleeping around? I don't know.
Well, like Vern Troyer, like he would go on his little escapades and whatnot.
Yeah,
Mini
he
Me
would
from
have all the
right.
Wait, Joe, I feel like you've not like
Oh, you
named
know,
a
I got
lot.
I got Aubrey Plaza.
Oh,
I had another one.
100% Aubrey Plaza.
But
Absolutely.
personality wise, she's not like unattractive, but I feel like personality wise as well. I feel she'd be fine.
I think
She's
her
so
whole
I
fun.
just love her. I think
her whole vibe is
whole
amazing.
combo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll F with you.
Yeah. But we're
I
because
had another
I
one.
base off of like just looks. But if basing off of personality is way different people.
Who do I
But I
really
also
want to
think
get
she's-
freaky? Well, then Sweeney Sweeney.
Sweeney
Todd.
Demon Barber.
She's like Marilyn Monroe.
I feel like I think of too many things because I'm like,
Meryl
I'm
Streep.
34.
You're
I'm
pretty-
too old for Sydney Sweeney,
But
but I
it's
guess I
like-
should just be like, what
No,
the fuck,
her
man?
fiance's 36, so
fiance.
I'm
So you have a
young.
chance.
But it's
I'm young
also,
for her.
I don't think you're going
You're too
to
young.
meet her and she's gonna agree.
Oh, I
So-
met Alexandria Daddario, and she's on my list too.
Okay.
oh, her
Oh,
eyes
she's
are
beautiful.
And she
Joe-
was really nice.
We know what
so-
Joe likes.
Joe likes big booty girls.
Well, not the two he just named. They're like known for big old boobs.
But Joe's like,
I
yeah,
don't
what the heck?
I know,
really
but
see
Sydney
that when
Sweeney
I
and
just
Alex-
see their charm.
He's like, I love her
Their
eyes.
charm.
Yeah. I'm familiar with her work.
Both their charms.
I'm sorry. but-
Anyway, closing
okay.
statements, guys.
Closing statements. I feel like we do probably have some weird ones, but I
I can't think of
I
them now.
can't think of
I'll probably write it in the comments below.
I
That's
think
like a whole list.
Yeah, hall passes are healthy unless you work with them.
Good.
Oh, then that's
Oh.
yeah, well,
that's
they need to
another-
be a celebrity too. You
It-
can't
it
just be
needs-
like
there needs
Bill
to
next door.
there needs to be a separate.
Also, celebrity. Like Bill Next Door is not a celebrity. He's
That's
just
what I'm
Bill
saying.
Next Door.
Like, it can't be someone you could really actually have
Did we
Yeah,
just
like,
relations
find
with.
out
Bill
that Joe's
Nye?
been looking at Bill next door?
I don't know my next door neighbor, but he's scary, and I've seen him shirtless a lot.
And that's Joe's hall pass. Thank you.
Oh, wait! I wish I could defend myself.
Nope,
That
too
was
late.
7 minutes.
Sorry, guys, you can't
You
defend
said you
yourself.
saw him shirtless.
These are the rules. Well, he leaves his door open a lot.
11:11, make a wish.
Anyway, that was the show. Kristen, would you like to plug yourself?
Oh, wow. So join my SoundCloud for my next latest drop. Just kidding. I don't have the.
Oh, I was like, I'd love to hear
She's
you.
He's the
Joe.
hottest new rapper.
No, I don't know. What do you normally plug at this
Like
point?
if you have an Instagram or
I do have an Instagram. I don't update it very often, and clearly you have my thoughts on social media now. But if you'd
That's
like to follow
true.
me, I'm at Lil Miss KO, LILMISSKO.
Okay.
Thank you. And you can find all of us too, but who cares?
You have to search.
Oh.
Anyway, goodbye.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us, Kristen. Hope you had a fun time.
I had a great time, guys. I want to come back.
Weird outro.
Have me back.
Joe's trying
We
to get
don't have an established
I
outro.
know. KO's outro part was great. You were like,
I
ruined it.
Bye.
introed her
I
outro.
know, but-
I introed her outro.
Bye, everyone.
bye.
I introed her outro.
Thanks, KO.